Hi, my name is Jason, a senior at the University of Washington, Bothell. As part of the Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences Student Advisory Council, myself and other members have decided to make this film about group work tips, how to maximize group work and make the process more beneficial to each person. So let's follow along. Tip number 1 is always use courtesy. Students, Karen, Lauren, and David are choosing a topic for their project. Let's see an example of what happens when one of the students didn't use courtesy while discussing project choices.
I think this class is interesting, but I'm having such a hard time choosing what political organization we should choose to do our project on.
Maybe we should do something different. Go to one of the activist offices and interview one of its members before we decide to write about them. That way we can choose the right organization for our report.
You're serious. That's a serious waste of time. Let's not get caught up and let's just choose what's on our list, what's already been provided for us. If we do extra work, we can still get the same grade by doing less.
This may seem a little obvious, but when David began using sarcasm and implying that Lauren was unintelligent, David began to close the lines of creative communication between himself and the other student. If you think another's ideas are not valid, try suspending your disbelief to hear them out and waiting before you make a negative comment. Let's watch while David uses constructive criticism instead.
This class is interesting. What do you think we should do for our project?
Maybe we should do something different. Go to one of the activist offices and interview one of its members before we decide to write about them. That way we can choose the right organization for our report.
You know, that does sound like an interesting approach, but I'm a little bit worried about the time we have. Perhaps we can do a little bit of research on the web to find out a little bit more about these groups before we go and visit.
Instead of being rude, David is offering another option to Lauren's suggestion instead of shutting her down. Good job, David, and good job, Lauren, for opening the dialogue about the project. Tip number 2 on our brochure is to develop team goals early and set deadlines. This step can help prevent group procrastination and gets everyone on board and working on the project. Okay, so we're going to be meeting on this day right here, Wednesday, that's the 10th, and we're going to be meeting on the 15th. So let's have everything done by the previous Friday. Sound good? Tip 3 is set clearly defined tasks for each group member. Step 3 states that everyone knows what their individual contribution is. That way they know what they're responsible for, so there is no overlap or confusion as to who does what.
I'm good at organization, so if it's okay, you can each email me your section of the paper and I can incorporate it into the final format.
That'd be great. I'll make the rough draft for the PowerPoint. So if you guys can have your bullets and your images ready for the slide presentation before meeting on Thursday, then we can work on it together.
Sounds good to me. I'll finish working my stuff early, and then I'll be able to help with any edits that you might have.
Step 4 is to choose a moderator. This step is not always necessary, but depending on the structure of your project, it could help the group.
I think our team would be better equipped to finish the project if we have a moderator, someone to coordinate all the dates and stuff.
That sounds like a really good idea. Who would want to do the extra work?
The role of the moderator isn't actually extra work. They just kind of make sure that everybody has their stuff in on time and that it's a cohesive plan. They basically put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Good, I nominate you.
Yeah, you look like you know what you're doing.
I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Awesome. Tip 5 is to always involve the whole team in the decision-making process. Each person should feel a sense of ownership in the project. If a decision about the project is made without first contacting everyone, it can be frustrating for team members. Let's see how Karen might react if a decision was made to the presentation PowerPoint without her consultation.
Lauren? Yeah, I just received your email and PowerPoint attachment, and the PowerPoint is not what we agreed upon. In fact, the slide 3 still has the content that the instructor told us we should omit. I can't get a hold of David, and they're meeting with the instructor tomorrow. We're going to look like idiots if we can't reach David before she discusses the PowerPoint with the instructor.
The team project should be a democratic endeavor. It's not a team project if everyone is not included in the decision-making process. Tip 6 is always a good policy. It's to empower your teammates. Show appreciation for their work by using positive reinforcement. Here are a few ideas.
Great work, Lauren.
Thank you. David, I like what you did here.
You know, that's exactly what this project needs.
I'm so glad you're a part of our team.
Exactly. I couldn't have phrased it any better.
This is what teamwork is all about.
Using these reinforcing phrases increases morale and cooperation. Step 7 is important and often overlooked. It's to keep the professor informed as to your group's progress. The instructor feedback is invaluable during a project's formation.
Hi.
Lastly, remember what happens in your group is a microcosm of what occurs in real civic, administrative, or political groups. Problems such as coordination, division of work, leadership, disagreement, etc. are all problems you may deal with in real life. Consider these road bumps and inconveniences as part of the learning experience. Prepare to turn your group work into teamwork. With these tips, an A+ marks is your incentive. In the end, it's all up to you. Cool.